everybody. It's time to LOL. Listen out loud, that is. It's time for Anime Jam Session with DJ Ranma S, Mako-chan, and Ari Rockefeller.
Hey everybody, welcome to Anime Jam Session, episode number 590. We are that podcast that talks about anime, games, conventions, the fandom, geek stuff, and everything in between. I'm DJ Ranma S.
And I am Mako-chan.
And Ari is off tonight. He's working the mid shift. Don't worry, he will be back with us next week. So, Mako-chan, how are you doing tonight?
I'm very tired.
Well, I would have to chalk it up to the weather because it is a little bit more breezier than normal for May. So even I'm feeling a little tired. So.
Oh no, it has nothing to do with that.
Oh?
I just haven't gone to bed as early as I should have the last couple of nights.
Well, and whose fault is that?
Mine completely. It really doesn't help that Sunday I didn't go to sleep until Monday, technically.
Wait, and wait, stop, slow down. You what?
Well, I mean, Sunday night I didn't go to bed until Monday morning. So like I didn't go to bed at until like 4 a.m. on Monday morning since I didn't have work.
What were you doing up until 4 a.m.?
Playing Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, I can see that. I could. That'll be my. Hopefully, I can start doing that sometime the middle of next month when all of my photos are done, all the videos are edited and uploaded. Done. Let's still hoping. So. Anywho, we are live tonight, week of May 23rd, 2023, right here on Twitch TV. You can always find us here live Tuesdays from 9 to 10:30 p.m. Eastern. You can always find us at Twitch TV/Anime Jam Session if you want to check us out live and participate. We're also part of the Voice of Geeks Network at vognetwork.com. And you can always find them at vognetwork.com, as well as on Twitch at Twitch TV/vognetwork. And come hang out in our Discord at vognetwork.com/Discord. Every show that's part of the Voice of Geeks Network has their own separate channels, so come through and hang out. And I think it's kind of fun. We got some good stories for you tonight. We have our CloverCon 2023 review as well. But before we get into all of that, I'm going to kick it over to Mako-chan, ask her, how was her week and how was her day?
Not bad. Besides, sorry, you can probably hear the plane.
What plane? What plane?
Oh, it's really loud. I'm surprised you don't hear it.
See, it's like I said, everything sounds fine, but when I go back and play it back, I will hear like the humming in the background. Sometimes you'll hear the barking dog or the squeaking of my chair, which I didn't realize it picked that up, but I will mark this on the episode so I know to go back and check this. So
yeah, they're doing maneuvers, so it might get a little loud. Yeah, so I basically, besides getting things together for this past weekend, I played a lot of Final Fantasy VII. So I'm going through with a guide, just to try and get all of the summons, and yeah, so far so good.
Did you buy a guide for it?
Did I buy one?
Yeah.
I purchased one years and years and years back that I still own.
Is it the white one is it the Brady Games white Final Fantasy VII strategy guide?
Oh no, this is the full color, the full color front, but that's not what I'm using.
Okay.
Yeah, I have the OG original guide for Final Fantasy VII.
Interesting story about that. I had thought I had lost that strategy guide, and a friend of mine was selling off some stuff, and he was selling off that strategy guide. So I was like, I lost my original. let me get that. And I bought it off of him. When I moved into this new place, I found the old one, so now I have two. And I'm keeping them both.
I'm not using that guide though. I am using one from, that I'm online just because when I game like that, I'm in front of my laptop anyway.
Makes sense.
And considering how old the guide itself is, and it's got so much wear and tear on it, yeah, I would rather not, go into it to play a game like this.
I totally get that, because I know my first guide has some wear and tear, but the second one not so much. I mean, this would be a perfect time to get like a nice magazine size protector and slide it in there and just seal it.
Yeah, my guide is actually all roughed up because I would draw the pictures out of it. So it kind of, with trying to bend the spine so that I could, see all the details, it kind of chewed up.
Now, here's the thing. Now, is the majority of the photos you draw out of the book Vincent Valentine?
No. No. Anything that has a really good detail of the character itself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I know I did Aerith. I know I did Cloud. I know I've done Vincent out of the book. And I think I've done Sephiroth out of the book.
Oh, okay. Cool.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, I just, going to work and doing the norm.
Yeah, so my weekend days also has been the same. I'm also training the interns about how we do things at work here. So, and that's going pretty well. I have noticed I'm getting a bunch of my packages from Otaku Mode. I think I showed off one of them last week, and I got another one today, and I totally forgot about it because I know I got 2 coming Thursday, and I'm coming home, and I'm just like, really? And I'm thinking one of them arrived early, but I went to double check, and I'm like, oh, no, this one's coming on time. This is one I totally forgot about. That. Let's see what else is going on. Oh, I'm not too sure I have discussed this on the show, but I have been going to the doctors, and it's nothing bad. It's all preventive maintenance, so and they're going to put me on medication for weight loss because they're saying from the beginning of when I started going to this doctor to now, I put on more weight than I should, and I'm just like, try the gym, try cutting down what I eat, it doesn't work. So I have been in the process of basically prescribing the weight loss meds, and they're waiting on approval from my insurance provider. So if it's approved, I'll be on a type of medication, where you with the little needle. It could be Ozempic. I don't know. If it's not approved, I'll be on a pill regimen for weight loss. So either or. Plus side is hopefully I'm just looking forward to getting back into size 40 cargo pants once again. That's all. I'm like, I don't want to buy another pair of 44s. I mean, 42s I can wear, but they're a little tight. I'd like to have some breathing room, if you catch my drift.
Mm-hmm.
So that's basically been our weekend day. We're going to get into some housekeeping here. Episodes of Anime Jam Session are available on our YouTube page if you're not able to catch them on our Twitch. YouTube.com/Anime Jam Session. Click on playlist and you'll see podcast VODs. All the episodes are there, so definitely check them out. And on the plus side, letting you know that the first half of our convention schedule is complete. So we are basically resting and relaxing till our first con, or the second half of our coverage will be, I believe, Mako-chan in September. So looking at Mako-chan, AAC, and Anime NYC. So we will see. DerbyCon is still up in the air. We're still figuring things out with that. And also, I want to let you all know that the photos from ZenkaiCon are finally edited. I will be uploading them to our page this whole week, and I will be posting the links on our Facebook page, and it'll be in the official ZenkaiCon Discords and page and groups if you want to see them there. So I appreciate everyone for being patient about this, because I'll tell you, there are times I come home from work, I just don't work, I just relax and watch TV. And then there are days I come out of work, change, I have something to drink real quick, I jump in and I just hit the ground running on the edits, which reminds me, Mako, you can shut your laptop off.
Yeah, I saw that when I got home.
Yeah. I actually finished like around 1 a.m. getting everything posted, so.
Yeah, I figured it might go faster if I wasn't actually using the Wi-Fi.
Actually, no. It would have taken basically the same amount of time, because remember, that Wi-Fi, the only thing that's really connected to your Wi-Fi is the laptop, the streaming box in your room, your phone, and your tablet. Honestly, those 4 devices aren't breaking the Wi-Fi.
It is if I'm watching videos.
Yeah and no. It's not going at the highest speed, but I think you have like a 10 meg upload, so it's not that bad. Besides, it's not the end of the world. It's not like I need them all within like 10 minutes, so you know. For those of you who are wondering, I left some stuff at Mako's because she's going to be coming out here like later, like next month, for a bar crawl. And I thought I had grabbed all of the photos. I left my camera bag at her place, but I forgot to take the camera card out. So I basically walked her through how to upload all the photos to my file share so I could have them to edit. So and the thing is, I could have waited, but honestly, I don't think I probably by the time I finished everything, it would have been like, yeah, no, that's not going to work. So, anywho, enough about that. We're going to get into Geek Roundtable, where we talk about the more geekier aspects of our lives and the coolest stuff that we've been working on. So, what's that you got there, Mako?
Well, going back to the pop figures that I had been waiting for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I did order when they first went on pre-sale, Aziraphale and Crowley, and they finally came in. So now I have my Good Omens just in time for the second season.
Perfect. Glad to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I've been buying a lot of, picking up stuff left and right, and ever since I started this new job, I kind of feel more comfortable in buying merch and swag and not having to worry about breaking my bank. So, let me tell you a little story. A quick brief one, that is. So, back at Castle Point, I said there's nothing here that I want to buy. There's nothing. I'm good. And what I do is I check the prices of stuff that's on my Otaku Mode wish list, and I compare the prices and see, is it cheaper for me to buy it here or to wait? Most of the time, it is cheaper for me to wait, but if it's like a $5 or $6 price difference, I'll buy it right there. So, in this case, I didn't buy anything per se, but I did see some plushies that were pretty cool. So I stumbled across a couple of chibi Sailor Senshi plushies. One was Neptune and one was Uranus. So I said, I know the 2 perfect people to send this to. Even though I was told, actually, if you probably know who I'm talking about, the lovely ladies over at Starlit Creations, Seiya and Yaten, told us they told all of us, please don't buy any more stuff because they're trying to kind of slim down. I can't do that sometimes. So I went out and I bought them basically a large Uranus and Neptune plushie, one for each of them. And I kept telling them, you're going to love what I'm going to send you, but you're going to hate me for it anyway. So, and they opened it up on their stream Thursday night, and I caught most of it. Micro Center, you guys got to fix your Wi-Fi, but So I went out I got it for them. And I kept saying, don't worry, it's okay, because I went out and got myself one too. So I got myself a Sailor Venus plush doll too. And what's really cool is that these are the 30th anniversary plush dolls. And if I'm not mistaken, we're on the 35th at the moment, so that's definitely going to be worth a nice chunk of change. Maybe when my time comes, I'll have them create a vault to put all my swag in. I don't know. All right. Now that we got that out the way, we're going to talk about CloverCon. Normally, what we did last time was we talked article news, and then we got into the con, because I figured let's do things slightly different. But this time, let's see how this works out. So, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is like our 10th year going, I think.
We missed the first year.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure we have been to every year since.
I could have sworn we missed one in between since we started going.
We may have.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think. We may have.
Yeah. I would have to go check the fan page, our Facebook page, because I have all the photos up and so forth. So, to summarize, for those of you who don't know, CloverCon is a small convention in, I would say, Somerset, Branchville, New Jersey, that area, at the local 4-H club. Funds from the convention go towards raising money to make the club a better place. And I think that's pretty awesome. So, it's a one-day convention. It usually runs from 10 to 5, and we decided to go this year. And what we generally do is we will get together on Saturday, stay in a local hotel, and then make our way over. As opposed to having to get up at like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning and make the massive trek up there, you know? So, anywho, enough about that. I will say, for the cosplay, I've seen some really good cosplays, and I like the fact that it was a little bit of everything. There wasn't any series really overpowering another.
Yeah, it was definitely a nice variety of cosplay.
Yeah. Not as many cosplayers as compared to previous years, even last year, after, you know, it was safe, it was quote unquote safe to go to cons, you know. But there was one cool cosplay that I saw that kind of stood out. Someone cosplayed like one of the witch characters from the mobile game Cookie Run. I thought that was hella awesome.
I probably saw it, but I don't know the game, so.
It was, yeah, I didn't know the game. I overheard her saying, you know, Cookie Runs. I was like, okay. I know of the game, but I've never played it.
Yeah, my favorite had to be the entire family that did Super Mario Brothers.
Oh yeah, that was really nice too.
That was kind of cool.
I'm just trying to pull up something real quick because I had a copy of the. I had a copy of the schedule, but I don't have it anymore. I sat it somewhere, and it's like now I don't have it. I was trying to kind of figure out, give a breakdown of everything, which is not. So, anywho, I did attend 2 panels. One was a game show by the Manly Battleships called Name That Tune. And basically, if you knew the song, you get a piece of candy, which is kind of cool. And it wasn't like a typical Name That Tune type game show. The host would just be like, oh, this is a Disney, this is non-Disney, this is a TV show, this is a cartoon, this or that, and would play the tracks. I think I guessed 6 that were pretty cool. And a couple of the tracks I hadn't heard in a very long time. And then for the bonus round, what the host did was took the top 3 high scorers and divvied everybody up into teams. And you were given a sheet of paper. 10 songs would play. Every even song was an anime track, and you had to guess the tracks and submit it. So I didn't win in the bonus round. Ari's team didn't win in the bonus round, but another team did, and kudos to them. I actually liked how this was.
Yeah, it sounds like it was a fun and entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I say something like that is perfect for like a small convention. Something medium or large, you're gonna need to be a little bit more organized. Like to compare to the similar game show at Castle Point, 10 notes or less. The board was just like Jeopardy. You clicked on it, you got a clue, and the host actually did all of the songs on the piano 10 notes or less. And you had to guess, how long and, how many notes could you figure it out under. And you got a ticket every time you won. And at the end of all the themes, if you had these tickets, they were raffling off prizes and so forth. Kind of cool. I did get a card deck from a Pioneer card deck from back in the day. It's still sealed. It's probably in my suitcase here. I haven't taken it out yet. So. And then there was the cosplay catwalk. And I liked it. It was great. My only issue is that our lovely MC should be a little bit more focused on bringing people out. Because as I was recording it, she was basically offside, which I do get happens. Just be a little more interactive. That's the only thing I could think of. And I did attend a couple of panels hosted by a couple of great friends of mine, of Anime Angel Blue and her husband, Adam, which is... Adam is known for AP, Anime Parliament. For those of you who don't know, Anime Parliament is sort of like an anime gripe session where you can bring to the panel charges against a character, and then they would discuss, is that character guilty of said crime? And if the person is guilty, they would have to come up, what should the punishment be? Now, I don't remember all of that was tried, but I do know one that stuck out that I got kind of vocal about, which was really great. EVU Mako, you might have an opinion on this.
Okay.
Sakura Kinomoto from Cardcaptor Sakura.
Okay.
Should Sakura be charged for crimes against the city for the damage that the Cloud cards have done?
No.
And why is that?
Because she's a minor.
And that's what most of us were saying. We kept saying it is the father's fault. Because the father didn't tell Sakura, stay out of my office and all of this stuff, That's what we were arguing with back and forth. If he was a proper dad, he would tell his child not to be in here or things you cannot touch. So if I remember correctly, we find that Sakura is not held liable, but her father is. And Anime Angel Blue came up with one thing for a punishment, and this was a part of the series I had no clue about. So, if I'm not mistaken, her father must be a servant to Tomoyo's mother for 6 months. And I didn't understand it at first, but evidently, as per the story goes, Tomoyo's mother hates Sakura's father with a passion. And from my understanding is she blames him for taking Sakura's mother away.
Yes.
So wait. We got an update here. 15 Tabby Cat says, no, it's Cloud's fault because he was in charge of the cards until she turned the cards over. Now, I can see that. But if I'm not mistaken, I think we end up saying it was the father's fault. Even though we did get into Cloud Read and all of that. And I told him this would be perfect for me to record. And it would have been great. So. And then.
You could also technically blame Kiro.
Oh, shit.
For falling asleep and not being able to keep the lock on the book.
Oh, wow. Spread the blame, why don't you?
Well, I mean...
No, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, you know.
Yeah.
And then the last panel that I went to was called Masquerade Magic. Basically, it's a panel on planning a masquerade skit. You know, the elements you would need. You know, getting things together. Basically, all the prep work and so forth. So, and that's something that's really good. Because I don't think a lot of cosplayers understand the blood, sweat, and tears that goes into making a skit. For some people, they can just create a skit, submit it. If it's one person, they can submit it, get up on stage, do their thing, and go. If it's a couple or a trio, probably the same thing. But maybe you have to do some choreography, some dancing, fight choreography. A lot of you have to practice in advance so you know where you are. Knowing how to do your audio, that way you can lip sync to your skit, because a lot of masquerades do not allow you to have a microphone on stage. And there are cosplayers who actually have skit only cosplays. And you'll see these only on stage, and that's it. And as Barry Mellon says, hi Barry, please record your audio. Yes, that too. Basically, record your audio before you submit it. You can lip sync to it. It makes it easier. So she showed off a few prime examples of various skits that describes how to put it all together. And she did post the ever infamous, what if 4Kids acquired the rights to Panty and Stocking? Fun fact, that was not my voice in that skit. I could not hit Gardabelt's voice the way it needed to be until 2 weeks after we tried to record. And Adam, I think that was him doing the voice or somebody else, but at least now I can do it. Good for nothing, angels. And another thing that's really cool about CloverCon is that there are benches outside, so you can kind of relax, have a picnic. There's like a mini maze in the back. They actually had a couple more benches set up. Like they had like not a gazebo, but like a giant tent-like area set up outside for people to chill out and relax in, and that was fun. I didn't get a chance to check out the game room, but I know Ari did. We'll ask him his thoughts on that when he returns next week. Now, one thing I did notice is that they did have signs up for the Wi-Fi, and I didn't even connect to it because I'm like, as often as I'm walking in and out, I'll just chill with the 5G because I'm good with that. I really can't think of anything bad per se about the con itself. It just needs to tweak their masquerade. That's all. That's the only thing I can think of. The MC should be a little bit more engaging instead of like looking down at the papers with the judges and so forth. That's all. Other than that, I can't think of anything else. It kind of reminds me of how early anime cons and the fun that were behind it.
Yeah, I like the I guess ambiance of
Mm-hmm.
small conventions like this because you don't feel like you have to rush to do things. You don't have to rush
Mm-hmm.
to, prepare very much. You don't have to go crazy with cosplay or anything like that. Um, I legit ended up playing Pokemon Go for a good portion of it. So,
You probably weren't the only one.
oh no, I wasn't.
And also, I did notice there were some. They actually this year they actually had a craftsmanship judging. I know they've done that for a couple of years, and I think that was pretty nice. And I
Yeah,
did see some people there that were at Castle Point and CloverCon.
yeah, it's nice to, find these smaller conventions and really see, the cosplayers that are up and coming, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of the ones that go to this convention, especially when they're younger, this is their first kind of convention, and they are just building up to, being able to go to the larger conventions, or, are a little bit too young right now to go to the larger conventions. And a convention like this really gives them the opportunity to, get out there with their own designs and their cosplay and everything, and just do a small little thing, whether or not they win or not. It's fun. They're having fun. They're with their friends. So
Mm-hmm.
I like conventions like that where you do have a contest, but it's not really crazy.
Yeah, it's sort of like I won't say No Child Left Behind, but it's like everybody gets a trophy for the most part, and it's very simple, straightforward. You don't have anything to really worry about. So sometimes just watching them just go on stage and kind of ham it up briefly and going off is a little bit more fun than seeing a full blown out skit. And as always, we'll say if we're going to be back next year. And most likely, yeah, I don't see a reason why we wouldn't come back. So,
It's definitely a nice, just chill, relaxing convention to go to. Especially one, we've been going to it for so long now, and I don't mind where my money is going.
exactly. I mean, the price has gone up, but to me, it's worth the $20.
Yeah, it would be different if it was, something completely different where it was, I
Mm-hmm.
as I don't mind where the money's going.
Yeah,
I don't mind giving my money to it.
and the food is really good too because they have the local Chinese cultural club there. With
Hmm.
food, I think they had like burgers, hot dogs, fried rice, ramen, bubble tea. It was really awesome. I like that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
not I didn't mean to say ramen, but lo mein, and the lo mein was really good.
Yeah, this year they actually had cotton candy and popcorn and things like that too.
Hmm.
So that's cool.
To be fair, I had wondered where people were getting the popcorn. I'm seeing people with cotton candy. I was like, oh, where are they getting the cotton candy from? Oh, and there is the main area. They laid out a new floor, so the audio acoustics is a little bit more sharper. And there's a really nice mural for the 4-H club inside there. I didn't even think to take a picture of it.
Yeah, they did a really nice job with the mural.
So I really think I would like to say to the elder cosplayers of the cosplay community, if you are near this area next year, put a cosplay on. Come through. Hang out. This is the perfect place to host like your panels on the basics of cosplay, the basics of skits, the basics of sewing on. This is the perfect place for it because the people, the kids, and the teenagers are coming in. They're going to eat it all up. And Calliope has mentioned in the chat that they would send a picture of the mural, which by all means, please do. I will most likely will post it on our fan page. I think that'd be kind of cool. So, now that we got that out the way, let's get down to some of the news for tonight's show. One thing that we're going to talk about is it seems that there's increased awareness of animator working conditions. And this is something we have been talking about on our show off and on, basically since we started this. So, I believe that is a Mako story. So, Mako, please take it away.
Yeah, so there's actually now an association. It's the Nippon Anime and Film Culture Association, a general incorporated association that seeks to improve understanding of the anime industry's management and production sides and improve working conditions for animators. They announced last Friday. They announced its founding Friday, May 19th. So, former A1 Pictures and Aniplex executive Masu Ueda is the chairman of the board. Animator and character designer Masura Kitao, anime director Naomichi Yamamoto, and voice actors Shunsuke Sakuya and Yuko Kaida also made speeches during the founding ceremony. They published their founding statement in English, which is we want to believe that animation has a future. It has been 100 years since the establishment of commercial animation. The sales from related industries have exceeded 3.5 trillion yen, and as a culture that symbolizes the nation, anime has taken the world by storm. On the other hand, the production studio, far from being a factory that nurtures dreams, is a place where creators are supported solely by the love of the craft, to the limit of their physical and mental strength, and it is no exaggeration to say that the site is on the verge of collapse. Will Japanese animation production continue to be a field where one must be prepared to live in poverty in order to break into the industry? Will it continue to compensate for the depletion of human resources by relying on overseas production systems? Will the global shift in work styles and the increasing scrutiny on the issue of employment inequality, can we afford to allow this state of affairs to continue until the government takes a scalpel to it? We at the Nippon Anime and Film Culture Association are not an organization that only seeks to improve conditions. The management and production sides must understand each other's situation, be aware of their responsibilities, and use their respective wisdom to dissolve the accumulated stagnation in order to achieve a greater goal. We would like to be an organization that works together with the national cultural strategy and aims even higher. If everyone involved in this world, regardless of their position, loves animation, the way will surely open up. This is what we believe.
Hmm?
And then correspondence with Anime News Network. Former Viz Media, Crunchyroll, and Netflix executive Rob Pareda also confirmed that animator and Terumi Nishi is also involved with the organization. Nishi has constantly expressed disappointment in the working conditions for animators in the anime industry and previously discussed the problems of animator unions in Japan. So, yeah.
So hopefully we'll see a definite change in this, because honestly, you shouldn't have to barely break even, to work on your favorite anime titles or to make a dream of yours come true, because it's kind of crazy how animators in other countries make a little bit more money than this.
I mean, this is part of the reason why the Writers Guild
Mhm.
is currently striking,
Yep.
because everything that's out there right now is going to the big production companies, the big producers, and there are writers that are writing for huge movies, that are writing for huge television series, that are renting out bedrooms in somebody else's home just so that they can live close to where they work. They can't, they're not making ends meet. And literally, they're the ones that are creating the story that goes with these, TV series, and they're not seeing any of the money from it. They're not, making residuals. They're not doing anything like that. They're just getting paid a straight amount. And, these are the people writing your movies.
Let's be real. No CEO needs $30 million a year.
No, I think once somebody starts hitting 3 or 4 vacation homes, they need to look and see, how their workers are actually living,
Mhm.
and maybe, not buy that fourth or fifth home and help out the people that are under you, that are who are making the money for you.
Exactly. I mean, we've seen similar. There is a show on TV called Undercover Boss where the CEO goes undercover to see what's going on. And yes, there are some changes, but not enough changes. And sometimes those changes will happen, and then they'll revert right back to square one. I mean, I'm a firm believer in actors, whether they're in doing anime, cartoons, live action, whatever, they deserve to get their fair pay and they deserve residuals. Writers should get their fair pay and residuals. Everybody needs their fair pay and residuals, okay? And the thing is, you do not need to say, well, because of this, we're going to increase the fees of our streaming services. No, you do not. You do that, and people are going to unsubscribe. You know what you do? Pull $30 million from the higher ups, the management team, and you spread that financial love. Because I'm sorry, as great as Stranger Things season 4 was, each episode did not need to cost $200 million or $2 million, how whatever the amount was. I'm sorry. And I say that only because that money went up. It pulled from budgets from other projects that they canceled that were good titles, and in turn, increasing the fees. Y'all need to stop that. Any last thoughts, Mako?
No, not really.
Okay. So now we go from talking about, fair pay within the industry to shoot 'em ups. Yes, there's going to be a new Macross game coming out. Let's see that Bushiroad, the people behind New Japan Pro Wrestling, Love Live, Bang Dream, D4DJ, Starlight Review, and other amazing titles. They're going to give you a Macross game. I believe it's Macross 7. On Bushiroad's, it seems that Bushiroad Games opened a Twitter account for the game called Macross Shooting Insight. The Twitter account revealed this game's story and confirms the game will come out later this year for PS4, PS5, Switch, and PC. And come on, y'all need to throw some Xbox love in there too. On their account, they have the official story, which about what's going on, but there is no release date yet on an English release of it. But I have a feeling there will be an English release. I mean, they did come to a conclusion on the Macross licensing rights in the U.S., so we could see it. So Bushiroad Games described the game as a new type of scrolling shoot 'em up. Their Bushiroad Games is their new gaming label, which integrates the Bushimo Mobile Games division. Bushiroad acquired a little bit over 50% of the controlling stake in Frontwing Lab, the parent company of Frontwing, in March of 2021. The most recent retail box game for the Macross franchise was Macross Delta Scramble, which launched for the Vita back in October of 2016. Uta Macross Sumal, the Culture Rhythm smartphone game, launched in August of 2017 and ended service in June of 2022. Let's see if I can somehow get graphics up here for this. Here, our interesting little browser here. Let me interact with this, and there we go. So basically, as you see here on the screen, the synopsis is: after coming to, Maximilian Genus, captain of the Macross 7 fleet, tried to wrap his head around what had happened. Something massive had struck his ship, the Battle 7. Upon regaining consciousness, he discovered that the rest of the flagship fleet had vanished. Adrift nearby was an older class vessel with weaponry of decades past, seemingly belonging to the new UN military era. Also spotted were vessels outfitted with the state-of-the-art technology he'd never seen before. If I'm not mistaken, it would appear that we've somehow been transported into the future. It was an astonishing conclusion, one that the captain had come to only after assessing all the information at his disposal. Further investigation, however, would soon uncover something even more incredible. Find Sarah Nome, Mayan priestess of Guide and Wind. Mu Fang Lone, producer of Sharon Apple, the galaxy's most popular virtual idol. Mylene Flair Genus, member of the rock band Firebomber. Cheryl Nome, the galactic fairy. Ronka Lee, the superdimensional Cinderella. Freya Wyong and Mikumo Geinemer, members of Tactical Sound Unit Valkyrie. All have deep connections to songs, all are known to being songstresses, and all have gone missing. Their whereabouts and safety are unknown, and there are few clues as to where to start searching. With the situation becoming more dire by the minute, Shin Kudo, Isamu Dyson, Gamlin Kizaki, Alto Saotome, and Hayate Immelman are all ace pilots from their respective time periods team up to find them. The mission to rescue the songstresses from across the galaxy is about to begin. So basically, it is a shoot 'em up where you have to find the songstresses of every Macross game anime generation. So that's gonna be kind of interesting. And even if it doesn't come here, just understand one thing. I believe the PS4 the Switch is region free, and it ain't hard to pull the game for the PC. Just saying. Now that we got that out the way, we're going to talk about some other cool things regarding Duolingo and Crunchyroll. Yes, they're going to team up. It's going to be anime-inspired Japanese language learning. I think that's kind of cool. If you're a fan of learning Japanese, then you may be interested in Crunchyroll and Duolingo's new tie-in promotional campaign. The anime streaming service partnered with the language learning platform on Tuesday, which was last Tuesday, to add nearly 50 phrases inspired by popular anime to its Japanese language course. In addition, Crunchyroll subscribers will be eligible for a 2-month trial of Super Duolingo, which is the ad-free tier which allows for unlimited mistakes and personalized lessons. Free Crunchyroll users will be eligible for a 1-month trial of Super Duolingo. Duolingo learners studying Japanese may be eligible for 1 month free of Crunchyroll Mega Fan access. This offer will be available until July 16th. All Crunchyroll users can redeem this 1-month free trial of Superlingo through a special link on their website at duolingo.com. Or go to duolingo.com, put in the code CrunchyDuo on its website, and you can get that 1 month free trial. And Duolingo Japanese learners can redeem the 1 month of Crunchyroll Mega Fan access through a link on Crunchyroll.com. Crunchyroll is also working on creating a list of anime titles with easy to understand Japanese, including Banana, Free Iwatobi Swim Club, Laid Back Camp, which is actually a really good anime, and Nichijou, My Ordinary Life. Duolingo offers Japanese courses for English speakers and Chinese speakers, which they can teach over 17 million learners worldwide. Japanese is the third most popular language for English speakers to learn on Duolingo. 26% of Duolingo Japanese learners cite fun, like watching their favorite anime shows, as their top motivation for learning. The promotion celebrates 6th anniversary of its English to Japanese course, and that's kind of cool. But if you're going to Japan, if you're going to be in a major metropolitan area, you might not get that chance to try out your Japanese because a lot of the people there will want to try out their English with you. All right, and one more here about Chanel and Sailor Moon.
Yeah, so as we know, there is quite a team up, I should say, or maybe quite a love um, that Naoko Takeuchi has with fashion.
Mm-hmm.
And Chanel is one that she has used time and time again to base either outfits in the series on or art book stuff on. So, for those that have not heard, it looks like there was a team up with Chanel and Sailor Moon, illustrated by Nooko herself. It is illustrations of the Sailor Moon characters in the newest Chanel line, which will be the collection itself will be coming out Thursday, June 1st in Tokyo, Japan. And basically, there is at least one picture of all of the senshi in the various fashion lines that are coming out in June. So the creator of Sailor Moon was asked to do a series of sketches for Chanel, gearing up for the collection debut. Again, it will be coming out June 1st, and it is, and I'm going to completely destroy this, Meters de Art line. Yeah, so meters.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so Chanel has released a first look at the Sailor Moon artwork ahead of time as it appears in the brand's magazine. So as you can see by, oh, you're not posting the pictures or anything?
I got sidetracked. Give me 1 second. Sorry. I will post pictures right now. If it'll come up for me. Oh, yeah. What do you know? They are. I can post the pictures.
Yeah, so as you can see by the pictures, the artwork does show the senshi in the various Chanel outfits. Usagi is shown in one rocking a tweed peplum top with matching pants, while others show Sailor Jupiter in a killer crop top casual suit. So obviously, if you're confused by the Chanel partnership, you should know, as I said, that that she has used quite a bit of leeway in her outfits for the series and
Mm-hmm.
based them on various outfits from real luxury pieces. So she's used pieces from Chanel, she's used pieces from Vivienne Westwood, not just in her art book, but also in the anime style and the manga style itself. So yeah, it's kind of cool to see this, to know that, the creator of something like this is so into fashion that the company says, "Hey, we've seen your art. We've seen what you've done with the series. We've seen your art books, based on past, you know, pictures. Do you want to do something now?" And that's just really freaking cool.
It really is. I'll give these pictures one more run through before I close it out. It's some really nice designs.
Yeah, so it would be really nice if these pictures were to come out in, say, a new art book. Um, that would be cool, and I know a lot of people would enjoy having, say, a 35th anniversary art book.
I could definitely see that. All right, now that we got that out the way, here's the part of the show that y'all really stick around for. Meanwhile, in Japan, see what we got here. Hmm. All right, Mako, you what do you like?
Uh, I'll take the second one.
I had a feeling you would. You know what? The first one and the third one sound really good. I kind of want to do them both, but I also kind of want to rest my voice a little bit. So, I'll take the last one. So, Mako, you can kind of kick things off.
Okay. So, yeah, so Japan's newest perfume is going to make you smell like a movie bootlegger.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so Japan loves its mascots, and two of its favorite anti piracy mascots are getting their own fragrances. So, generally speaking, perfume producers want to create an atmosphere of refined elegance and/or playful beauty around their products. That's something that you can feel even in the name of Tokyo fragrance company Fairy Tale and its online shop Dreaming Princess.
Hmm.
And yet, the latest muse isn't a famous female monarch, gossamer emotional state, or natural floral phenomenon. It's someone who pirates movies.
Ah,
In addition to previews for coming attractions, movies in Japanese theaters are often preceded by a message from the No More Iga Doboro or No More Movie Thieves project. The intentionally cheesy videos remind moviegoers that recording and uploading copyrighted content is a crime, with Cameraman, as the camcorder headed pirate character is known, invariably caught in the act by the ever diligent Patrol Lamp Man.
hmm.
Fairy Tale describes its cameraman perfume as being based on the mysterious, suspicious, and stylish image of the character, which it has interpreted as a mix of spicy, floral, and citrus scents with the aroma profile as listed. So the top notes are geranium, cardamom, lavender, and cypre. Middle notes are rose, clove, and iris, and last notes are sandalwood, patchouli, and powdery musk. Fans of Patrol Lamp Man will be happy to know that the law-abiding character is also the basis for for a fragrance. And in his case, the fragrance designer set out to create a scent that conveys his strong sense of conviction and sincerity. So the top notes are cardamom, elemi, and citrus. Middle notes are jasmine, lily of the valley, and precious wood. Last notes are white musk, smoky notes, and amber. pair of public service announcement characters getting their own perfume speaks to how memorable the No More Igadobo Dorobo videos are. At the same time, the fact that cameraman, at least in the eyes of Fairy Tale's marketing team, has a mysterious and stylish aura suggests that maybe the project hasn't been overly effective in positioning its
English, do you know it?
No, I don't. So basically, they're saying maybe it hasn't been effective in showing the villain as a bad guy. All that aside, cameraman and patrol lamp man perfumes can be purchased through Fairy Tale's online shop, each priced at about $28.50. Yeah.
I'm suddenly reminded of that line from Wreck-It Ralph said by Zangief. Just because you are a bad guy, that does not mean you are the bad guy. And as you can see, I did post a picture of their mascots and their appropriate perfumes with each, and it kind of matches them too.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. Japan really loves their mascots.
Yes, they do.
So I find it a little weird, but if it's gonna sell, then why not?
I concur. Now, our next story basically goes to the dogs.
Boo.
What? It was kind of rough. I'm sorry. It seems that a Yakuza member was arrested for not picking up his dog poop. Alrighty then. Well, as it goes, it was a cold winter's morning in the main streets of Asahikawa City, Hokkaido Prefecture. While many were still huddled in their homes safe against the elements, a lone figure's footsteps echoed across the windswept pavement as dawn began to crack over the gritty suburban skyline. The man was a member of the Kyokokudai division of the Yamaguchi Gumi Yakuza family, and behind him was the beloved pet dog of one of his fallen Yakuza bosses. During his daily walk, he stopped outside for a moment out in front of a home in the Higashi 55 district of the city and surveyed his surroundings with his steely eyes before continuing his way. And it was this simple act that led to his arrest for the violation of the waste management law months later. On May 17th, the 57-year-old Yakuza member was arrested and charged with not picking up the poop that his dog had left on the property of a home in the aforementioned district. According to the police, there were at least 2 incidents of this happening at 7 a.m. on December 28th and January 9th. Although the Yakuza member is known to take the same dog walking route every morning, he denies the charges against him, telling police he doesn't think his dog pooped at that time and place. This would seem easy enough to link the poop with the dog through surveillance footage and DNA analysis. The crux of this case is whether he really was aware of his dog pooping on someone's property or not establishing intent, and the police say that they are continuing to investigate the matter. Kind of shitty. This investigation will probably involve looking into all the Yakuza members' daily businesses and affairs to learn more about whether he truly was too busy with organized crime activity to notice a dog pooping beside him. Meanwhile, netizens caught wind of this story and had their own thoughts in regards to this. Do the police have the turd in a vault somewhere as evidence? Forget Yakuza. Normal people should be arrested for not picking up poop too. The police have really been going after the Yakuza hard lately. They just arrested a couple of Yakuza members for watching a baseball game last month, and we talked about that on this show. He brought shame to his clan. He seems like a senior member and his job is walking a dog. Was the dog arrested too? As far as reports have revealed, the dog was not arrested or detained, which would stand to reason as for the act of pooping itself isn't the offense rather than the negligence in not cleaning it up. It's just one more way from using supermarket point cards to upgrading from 3G that the Japanese police have been cracking down on even the most minor infractions committed by gangsters nationwide recently. I could not see them trying to pull that on the mafia here in the States. I can't see them doing that. I mean, think about it. Having them pull something like they're outside, they're turning down his water pressure, or they're flipping the switch so that he gets half of the electricity. Could you see that?
No, but at the same time, they're very different dynamics.
I know.
It's getting to a point that what made the Japanese yakuza really scary is no longer a thing. It was very much an intimidation type of thing.
Right.
And now with certain things that had been yakuza, I guess, mainstream, like tattoos and things like that, not being just for yakuza anymore, and people becoming a little bit more open-minded, that whole intimidation thing just kind of goes out the window, especially when you have manga and anime about yakuza guys just turning into complete saps over dogs and cooking and their girlfriends. And yeah, so
are you talking about The Way of the House Husband?
Maybe.
Well, yeah, but that was also a good anime too.
Well, yeah. Speaking of, did you see the cosplayer this weekend?
Yes, I did.
That was awesome.
But did he do something else that I missed, or just the fact that he was walking around as the yakuza member from that?
Yeah, no, just the fact that he was walking around in the apron and everything. I loved it.
I hope there is someone who does that cosplay and finds someone to cosplay the wife and walks around with the figurines. That would be awesome.
But yeah, I mean, the way that they're being arrested now in Japan is kind of the way that we here in the States end up arresting mafia. While we can, well, it's very difficult to arrest them for the reasons why they need to be arrested. Most of the mafia members that are arrested off of some sort of money charge, and not like money laundering or anything like that, more like tax evasion. And
basically they get Al Caponed.
Basically. So yeah, I mean, at this point, that's what Japan is doing. They are, well,
I mean, they can't pin you on Jimmy Hoffa's missing body, but they're able to figure out why there was an extra $10,000 in your account.
Right. I mean, when you're looking at what is major for mafia related, shenanigans, and yes, I used shenanigans for mafia related, hits, but and
you're not wrong. It's just the irony behind it. The Yakuza is this badass clan you don't want to mess with because they will cut your pinky off, but the cops may not be able to prove they cut your pinky off, but they will be able to figure out the missing yen and be like, yeah, you can't be in here.
Yeah, why do you think they go after them? It's like, oh, well, these two were, watching a baseball game. Oh, we have a law about that. We can arrest them now. Oh, this guy didn't clean up after his dog. Whether or not it really was the fact that, he didn't clean up after it, all it takes is one guy going, yeah, I saw the dog shit on my yard. And bam, arrested. That's all you have to do now is go and look for all of these small little insignificant laws that are still on the books, and that's what you start arresting people for.
All right. I'm going to say this and then we're going to wrap up the show. There was a TV show on in the late 90s, or maybe mid to late 90s, called The Commish. There was an episode where they were trying to arrest this guy, but he had some type of diplomatic immunity or something. I don't remember. But the Commish told them, they're having a conversation, and they realized they had all of these laws on the books going back to the 1800s. So what they did was they would citate him on the littlest things, like they caught him sneezing and didn't cover his mouth, and he got cited for that. They saw him talking to a woman and not standing the proper. They cited him for that. It's just shit like that. God. And it's kind of petty, but it's also legal. So.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is it doesn't keep them in jail very long, but at the same time, them being in jail doesn't matter anyway, because they've got so many other guys that can do shit, whether that is in jail to do shit for them while they're in jail, or those that are out of jail that will still, do whatever the boss tells them to do while the boss is in jail.
Yeah, we've seen enough TV shows about that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now that we got that out the way, I think it's time to wrap up the show. What do you think?
Yes.
Awesome. Wunderbar. So if you like tonight's show, tell a friend. They in turn will tell another friend, and so on and so forth. We're independent bloggers, independent podcasters. We do this for the fun of it. So what we like and don't like, we're straight up telling you. So if you have any questions about the show, drop us a line at podcast@animejamsession.com. Again, that is podcast@animejamsession.com. We're here to believe you. And don't forget to check out our website at animejamsession.com, where you will find our weekly podcast. You will also find cosplayer interviews, cosplayer tips and tricks, editorials, anime reviews, links to our YouTube page of convention coverage, links to our Facebook fan page of all the cosplay coverage that we have, and then some, including our weekly podcast. Check it all out at animejamsession.com. And please follow us on our social medias. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. It's Anime Jam Session. Follow us on those. It's the best way to find out when we're going live, when episodes are available, when new articles are available, anything awesome, new videos, cosplay photos, and a lot more. And we couldn't do it without y'all, so we really love and thank you, and we appreciate the love and support on that. And speaking of love and support, you can always help our tip jar. If you're participating with us live, there's a link down below to our Ko-Fi tip jar and our Stream Elements tip jar. So please, if you can throw money, we greatly appreciate that. If you don't want to do that, you can give us some biddies. We appreciate the bits. You can also give out a gift subscription, or you can share one. Every little bit counts, and it goes right back into the show. So now we're going to go around the room. Last words, Mako-chan.
I am looking forward to making homemade ravioli this weekend.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
My last words, I'm going to clean up from dinner and kind of relax and catch up with some, and start posting those photos. Well, that is it. End of list. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode. Ari will be joining us, and I think we have a new project coming down the pipe. As soon as I get more information about it, I will let you all know. That is it. End of list. We're getting out of here. So, I'm Ranma.
And I'm Mako-chan.
Great fight, great night. See you next week.
Good night.
Say goodnight, Mako-chan.
Good night, Mako-chan.
Perfect. Awesome. We're getting out of here. See you all next week.
This podcast has been a production of Anime Jam Session and AJS Productions. No fanboys and fangirls were hurt, maimed, shot, electrocuted, or pistol-whipped in this episode. For now. The views, opinions, and thoughts expressed on this show do not reflect the staff or the network as a whole. But we're still right, damn it. For transcripts of this episode, start typing. Check us out at animejamsession.com and vognetwork.com for more information about us and other programming. Jamatane!